Jeremy's nerves. They were then hooked to a Casio computer, which Jeremy wears on his belt. He tells the computer to send out little shocks to his nerves, and voila! 7 surgeries later, Jeremy can stand and walk. But it's not easy.
And I'm going to hit it now, and it's going to beep 4 times, and I'm going to stand up. And now I'm just going to do swing through, walk.
The swing-through pattern is just one of Jeremy's options. The computer has both his legs locked, the muscles clinched. He uses his upper body and walker to move. It's tough, but it works. The second option is called reciprocal. The computer actually fires the muscles in each leg separately. Jeremy hooks the computer to his walker and pushes buttons when he wants to take a step. Watch closely.
Now I'm going to hit the left step button. My left leg should take a step.
A little step.
A little step. Now I'm going to hit the right step.
Too far ahead of you.
Yeah. Now left step.
Lefty's being complimented today.
Therese Johnston is Jeremy's physical therapist. She says though Jeremy's level of mobility is physically taxing and looks a bit crude, it has many practical uses.
I mean, I think it's fantastic what we can accomplish to be able to allow somebody to stand. I mean, it's not going to make him be a full-time walker. That's not the goal of it. I mean, he's going to use his wheelchair for a lot of things, but it gives him the ability to stand up, potentially go up and down stairs to get into other people's homes, walk onto an airplane. So it can really help with just those little functional activities that none of us think of for somebody in a wheelchair, how difficult some of those may be. So we may be able to impact some of those.
Shriners is also thankful for Jeremy. He's been essentially a human guinea pig. Aside from the 7 surgeries needed to implant the system, Jeremy must go through intensive physical therapy, both for his own well-being and so researchers at Shriners can see how to improve upon the system. And improvements are coming.
There's a lot of effort going into regeneration therapy for spinal cord injury. What we do know already is when those therapies come out, they're not going to be 100% cure. I think that we'll wake up some nerve paths that aren't totally injured, just kind of lying dormant. They maybe just need some new insulation on them, and then they'll start to work, but they won't work normally. And you can take a system like this, and where a muscle may not just be strong enough, or it may not be coordinated enough because it doesn't have a sensory branch or something like that, we'll be able to add a system like this to take a patient with an incomplete recovery and make them more functional than they otherwise would have been. I think systems like this are going to be integral in that regeneration type of strategy.
In other words, the doctors hope to someday use both the bionics and human cells to help people like Jeremy walk again.
Right.
Shriners is also a world leader in regeneration research.
And then probably over the next 10 to 15 years actually fine-tuning a cell that is fairly effective in improving someone with a spinal cord injury to the point not necessarily where they'll walk, but maybe to a point where they'll have some muscle recovery.
Jeremy says when that day comes and the cell regeneration therapies begin working in humans, he will be ready for a try. For now, his bionic body keeps working out. The computer even gives him an exercise program to keep his leg muscles strong, not atrophied as they normally would be. Jeremy plans to help others learn from his triumphs and his mistakes. He wound up in this chair because he was a drunken teenager who got behind the wheel. Now he gives lectures to other young people and gives thanks to Shriners, who pay for every dime of his hotel rooms, his airplane tickets, and his expensive medical care. Jeremy is a lucky guy who knows what really matters.
And I'm just so thankful to wake up every day. When you're that close to dying, and you're just thankful to be able to wake up any way you can, And just being at the Shriners Hospital, I mean, you see how thankful you really are for what you've got.